Good morning, Damian Spaulding here. I'm going to share with you a very long story. It's going to be worth it for all of you that have stuck to it, done the right thing over the last 5 years or so, that have been waiting for all the right things to happen in this world, okay? Number one, I don't look this old, but yes, I don't think I look this old, but 25 years ago, I saw a trend. I did a lot of research on international banking, government systems, the whole nine yards. I learned that a lot of what we're experiencing today was coming. About 25 years ago when I saw this, is like, you know what? Someone needs to have a fiber optic server that could be away from the rest of the central server system. Someone needs to have a technological infrastructure that allows individuals to communicate the way the first internet was made. You know, back in the days, DARPANet was the first ones that made the internet back in the day, right? And as they did that, it was a military American thing, right? A military thing. But then people took it and said, let's use this for the actual use of research. Let's get researchers communicating computer to computer. Let's get the world interconnected in a new way. And free speech and free platforms were happening. But now you can't say things like vaccines, things like suicide, things like murder, things like rape, things like all sorts of things that you would naturally want to speak about. The number of people that have had their children killed by a vaccine over the last number of years. See, I'm saying all these things and I have to bleep it out if you're on a platform other than dsphere. And this is kind of where I'm going, okay? You're going to learn about dsphere in a minute. But if you had a child that died of a vaccine injury, if you had a person, if you've been a person that had your bank account seized or lost pretty much everything as a result of government mandates and things supposedly for our health to make our life better, it's time for us to communicate properly, cleanly, clearly, without the fear of being hostilely kind of damaged by the government and others. So here's the picture. Over the last 5 years, since 2020, I'm Damian Spaulding. I've run a top school, an education facility here in Central Ontario called Spaulding School of the Arts. First started Spaulding School of Music. I trained a lot of the top talent, or a lot of great talent here over the years as well. That's won many awards. I've won awards as a music producer and so on and so forth, as well as a musician and an educator. Multiple 10 years in a row, Consumer Choice Awards is the best school in the region, that kind of thing. And so why am I saying all this? Well, you see, in 2020, I launched a record label, and a record label for individuals to communicate what they want to communicate in a really awesome way. But of course, it's very difficult to do label work if you're not signing up for things that you don't want to do in this world, right? Everyone knows. Hi there.
Morning.
Good morning. Everyone knows, or just about everyone who's informed, knows about the madness that happens with the Universal and Disney and all the majors. You know, there's skeletons in those closets. I'm not going to get into that. Someone needed to build an alternative to allow people to not enslave themselves to a machine just because they have a great message or something they'd like to do, and someone had to build it. Well, someone had to build a platform, therefore, that allows them to distribute their music and distribute their videos, distribute their everythings without fear of being deplatformed. Okay, that goes again back to dsphere. So 20 years ago, I launched the record label. I cut an album, I cut a single actually, called My Anthem. It ranked top in the world. On what Event Digital, I think it was, as a platform, and charted for it, I think a week or two. So you can check that out. But that's a side note. In the midst of doing what I do, therefore, I've started building 25 years ago a massive software application. I had a request for an e-commerce solution. I had another request for a multi-currency, multi-language solution. I have another for a business management solution. And the stupid guy that I am, instead of making great money, making three different individual solutions, I decided to write custom software that unified everything. And I called it, at that time, Core Management Solutions. Core CMS, right? Because CMSs were the newest, greatest thing back 20 years ago, and so on and so forth. So, which then became dsphere. Okay, let me get into what dsphere is today and why it's so important. Okay, so all the things that I was mentioning before, I have a video that I'm posting that you're watching right now, and you're not supposed to say things like vaccine injuries and so on and so forth. dsphere now is acting like remember Parler? Remember Parler when it became popular in the midst of the madness, and then they got deplatformed because, again, they relied on the established systems, Amazon's AWS, their cloud compute technology that then can easily deplatform anyone. Like, I'm like, you're onto the right thing, people. You want to free the world, but you're using their platform to get your word out. You can't do that. Well, in essence, then, Parler died, and when Parler came up, I wanted to be able to. Sorry, I got someone coming in. Someone else is on the phone. That's cute. So Parler died because they used other people's platforms. So, long story short, I've created a fiber optic, or I'm now on the world's first free speech-based cloud compute that then allows us to create a Zoom alternative, which is done through dsphere, that allows you to have private communications, private chats, yes, multi-factor encrypted, and yes, peer-to-peer, end-to-end, all that basic stuff. But at the same time, put in the same server banks as where the Pirate Bay is hosted, where WikiLeaks is hosted, where Fauci and others would keep their secret documents. If you want to protect your assets, whether it be money, information, or what have you, simply put your stuff where other people would want to protect it, right? So dsphere is now built on fiber optic servers that cannot be deplatformed, cannot be taken down. And also there's custom software tooling now that has the ability, or is in the position now, to replace YouTube. You can now become your own sphere of influence. Well, you already are your own sphere of influence, aren't you? But the problem is, all of you civil dissidents in the world, or lovers of the planet, or informed truth seekers, and so on and so forth, that want to be able to get a message out, that want to be able to communicate with others, have not been able to do so because they keep muting your voice, killing your free speech, stopping your ability to share your story and tell the truth. Not your truth, but the truth, right? So with dsphere now, you can actually take, as I get hit by a tree, you can now take your message and take your sphere of influence and have it as your own private server. So you don't even need to use my servers or anyone's servers. I can give you your own server to manage your own sphere of influence that you are never going to deplatform yourself. And then you can have your own YouTube sitting on your server with all your own videos, so you don't wait on YouTube to monetize and give you a penny off a dollar. When they make the dollar and you keep the penny from all the advertising dollars they make, you can make the advertising money while also managing your own platform that you can have free speech about. So you can now, through dsphere, manage your own YouTube. Through dsphere, you can also manage your own mailing list. So there's an individual that I know of that spoke about really important things that were not as popular, like vaccines back in 2022, on how they've been injuring individuals. And he's been helping doctors and others work in the right ways. And he was using a major platform, let's name him, might as well say, MailChimp. And MailChimp allowed him to broadcast to thousands of individuals, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, MailChimp, snooping his emails, decided, you know what, we don't like your emails, we're going to control you. And MailChimp stopped him, closed his account with like thousands of people in it. I don't think tens of thousands, but pretty much many thousands. So he was no longer able to get his word out. dsphere has built a technology that replaces MailChimp. It's not as awesomely robust as MailChimp yet. But I've been a one-man show building this stuff, and I need your help as well. If you know someone who'd like to join this fray and bring things to the next level the way it should be, let me know. So dsphere allows you to now manage your videos, become your own YouTube, monetize your own stuff, and never deplatform yourself. dsphere allows you to manage your own mailing lists, like MailChimp, and then email thousands of individuals as you need from your own private server under your own control. Or for if you need scalability and affordability, you can start with my server or one of my servers that are located in different parts of the world. And then from there, build yourself into your own brand and your own entity. So it allows you to do your email stuff. What else does dsphere allow you to do? Right now, there's dweb that allows you to decentralize your own website. So yes, you got WordPress. Yes, you got all these other websites, that CMSs that do stuff. And they have their limitations in many ways. I'm not going to get into it. But, and e-commerce, your ability to do e-commerce. So for example, then, you have your own server under your own control. You see a trend here, under your own control. And then you have your own website that in your sphere of influence, you have your videos, you have your emails, and now you have your e-commerce merch, for example. So you're selling t-shirts and mittens and scarves, that kind of thing. So you can now, there's so many people that had really cool t-shirts that are not popular by Bill Gates and Amazon, and all of a sudden you can't sell them. So therefore, dsphere, I'm just finishing this section now. E-com is coming. And therefore, you can now sell your t-shirts anywhere in the world. You can deposit that into your bank account anywhere in the world, wherever that account might be. And you can do it through a decentralized way that you can even use multiple merchants to then go across many different areas. So in essence, you're doing business like a multinational corporation would do on a shoestring budget as just a freedom-minded, fun-loving, world-changing influencer that you are. I'm looking to develop new relationships with now new influencers that have been waiting a long, long time. I know conversations I've had with other influencers and other individuals that have been well researched, and they have like terabytes of data on their website, on their home computers, and they can't get it out there. You're seeing now the truth is coming out about the vaccines over the last 5 years, and it's old news for so many, but people are like, why didn't I see this before? How did I not know this? Well, because it was suppressed, and when those free speeches was being suppressed, what happens? People saying, oh, we're being suppressed. They're like, no, you're just a tinfoil hat. You know this story. Now you can actually get the word out, because there's another thing called decloud. You know, like WikiLeaks? You can have your own decentralized cloud. The cloud is such an ambiguous, happy-go-lucky, it's just a cloud, when truly you're using someone else's private server to house all your stuff. And they can data mine it and sell it. Oh, but yeah, it's the privacy statement says they don't use it, but just wait for the right security breach, just like you see on a lot of other government stuff. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, it was on my mistake. Long story short, with your own sphere of influence on your own private server with dsphere, it's multi-factor encrypted. If you encrypt your own database and lose your password, I can't even help you recover it, okay? And I wrote the thing. And I'm looking to develop new relationships with other people to help me, because there's only so much I can do. It took me 5 years to do this so far, dedicated, off 25 years of other developments. But yes, so you have your own cloud. Therefore, you now your own WikiLeaks. But unlike a typical FTP server, you can actually take this cloud and have people like and subscribe and vote on things and things along that line. That is coming down the pipe. You're able to now share that stuff, and now the whole community is now coming up. The community sides of dsphere as of this date in July 2025. The software is continually growing because any massive application like this takes a long time to build. So, long story short, what are you able to now do in dsphere? Because it's here for you, freedom-minded individuals, to share the truth, not your truth, but the truth, with those that need to hear it. You have your ability to do your own cloud storage, do your own email management, do your own e-commerce very soon. It's not quite fully done yet, but in the next few weeks it should be done. Do your own website, of course. Do your own media. What else is sitting behind dsphere? There's other things now. You're probably seeing this on a social platform of some sort. D-Social is a very, very and then there's the Zoom alternative, right? There's D-Chat, which decentralizes your chat. And the D-Chat has its Zoom, for example, video conference for individuals to privately have communication. And at the same time, there is the text chat side of it, which is, as of this moment, just being finalized now. So that you can now text message without Signal, without Telegram, because both those are also on other people's servers. You have your own sphere managed by your own server, completely by you, because you're never going to deplatform yourself. You're never going to sneak your own information out and sell it to someone unless you want to sell it. Even visitation statistics and all that information that is normally invisible to you can now be completely visible to you on your sphere. So you once again have become your own media giant. There's a cool website, Truth in Plain Sight, tipsmedia.tv, that was started a number of years ago, and that was trying to bring truth in plain sight, the truth that was hidden from the masses, bring it out to the public. And you'll see in tipsmedia.tv, site's still under construction, but you'll then, because I've been building dsphere, not tips, but you will see, I think, 100, 200 videos now, like YouTube-style videos that describe things, truth that was hidden over the last number of years. And there's new content that's being built very, very soon. you will see another website, togetherasone.cc, is a website that went out, I don't know, 4 years ago, I believe, that brought tens of thousands of people together when the mandates were beating us up and everything was a mess. And it helped people move from country to country. It helped people find doctors that would actually help them navigate through the damaged medical system as it was at the time. And hi there, thank you. So I'm trying to figure out which way I should walk. Isn't it a beautiful day today? Like, you just gotta love this thing. I'm trying to be respectful of other individuals, not catch them on camera if they don't want to be on camera. But I also want to enjoy this beautiful morning walk with you. So, Truth in Plain Sight media was birthed, and they got together as one. Tens of thousands of people came together, worked together as one. There's educational videography there on banking systems and governmental systems and how lobbying works and how really your vote only has power if you're a corporation lobbyist and money behind you, stuff like that. So there's some really cool information that's been out there for a while, but it's time to make all this really cool truth, freedom stuff truly ubiquitous without being threatened to be deplatformed, damaged, coerced, or controlled. Okay, so if you'd like to learn, I'm just part of the one cog in machine. Okay, so the dsphere is, even though it's not open source, it is closed source. There are a number of programmers that have this application. So if you want to off me, good luck. It's not going to help you too much because it's already out there, and the full source is out there for other programmers to continue what I have begun over the last 25 years. So the goal is now decentralization in every way. It's funny, everyone's talking about decentralization, how important it is now, but someone had to write it, right? And now that it's been written. So if you take a look, it's really interesting. Even myself, during the whole madness of the last 5 years, I put together on my Facebook, fraud book I like to call them, because they have great fraud affirmation tactics, right? And on fraud book, I have 20,000 followers or so. And when I post now, only, I don't know, 5 views or 100 views out of 20,000 followers. The shadow banning is immense. It's really wild. Back when they originally shadow banned me, it's really cool. Well, cool, but not cool. Because I post a video, and within an hour, I would get about 1,000 views. Within 2 hours, it'd be 10,000. And then within 3 days, it'd be up 50 to 70,000 views, right? And that was for just about every video I posted back in the day. Then overnight, when the shadow ban started, my gosh, I post a video now, and it was like a switch that turned off. I post a video now, and I get, I think, 5 views, 10 in the first hour, and after 3 days, maybe about 100. Like an order of magnitude drop. So you've experienced this as well if you've been doing the right thing over the last 5 years. Now's the time to change that. So social is coming, where we're going to take the video streaming, we're going to take the cloud, we're going to take the chat, we're going to take everything in its own deplatform kind of way, decentralized kind of way. And then, I got to navigate through this. This is going to be interesting. So we're going to take this off of me. I'll show you what I'm saying. In its own decentralized kind of way. And then we're going to make our own media social engine that will never deplatform you, that will never have algorithms that chooses to, bugs in my face, that chooses to not spread your word anywhere anymore. Because what happens now is, as you have your own sphere of influence, because what we're doing constantly in this world is we are putting our best fruits forward to make really good videos, for example, and then we put those videos on other people to make them famous. It's stupid. And then after we make them famous, they give us a penny for the work that we do and then choose to deplatform us when it's all said and done. So the journey now, not just the goal, but the actual journey as you're walking this journey with me, is now to build your own social empire using your own social sphere, with your own video sphere, your own text chat sphere, with your own everything. And what happens now, the piece de resistance, is you take your sphere of influence, which is autonomous, is 100% you, and you connect your sphere of influence with my sphere of influence. Our two spheres go together. And therefore now, and then we take our two spheres, we connect it to another sphere. And all 3 spheres and 4 spheres and 10 spheres and 100 spheres, we create an entire decentralized internet, kind of like torrent stuff. where a file is stored across 1,000 servers and you're getting parts of files on your computer, and torrents have been around for a long time. Kind of like that, but different, because you, instead of a Tor, you actually maintain your IP, you maintain your structures, it is yours, but then as these spheres interconnect, you've created a decentralized, automated internet. So therefore, you've created now dsearch, which is now where I need your help. I need your help, please. If you're enjoying this content, if you're a freedom fighter, if you want to share information freely, if you want to get your word out, or you know someone wants to get their word out, please share this video with them so that they can get in touch with me. I'm Damian Spaulding, or dsphere.cc. The first top-level domain name, the first TLD I bought and I used, within 24 hours was completely banned from sharing on Fraudbook. It was hilarious. You know, you're doing something right. Within 24 hours, they shut down the ability to even share anything under that domain name. Nonetheless, and it was just an up and coming, it was an upstart, so I bought a new domain name. Anyway, dsphere.cc. But get in touch with me, okay? If you have someone who'd like to do this, because what now we need to create is a critical mass. I've created the software infrastructure, the backbone of what the original Google was back in the day, PageRank and back all the stuff that Google did to make themselves famous before they got bought out. Try to look up the buy screwdriver on Google and tell me what you see. You probably see Amazon, Walmart, and no local hardware store around you. That says everything. In the entire planet, of all the e-commerce, of all the shops and stores you can possibly buy stuff from, why do you only see a few now in Google searches? Why is your information so curated and controlled? So we're at the time now where we truly need a new search engine that cannot stop you from seeing what is really true and balanced out there. So what happens is, as your sphere of influence connects with my sphere of influence and everyone else's sphere of influence, what ends up happening is we've created now a new search engine that then can say, okay, show me all the coolest things that are happening in Central Ontario, show me all the coolest things happening in Europe, show me all the coolest things that are happening, and sphere to sphere to sphere to sphere, they all interconnect and communicate autonomously. Very, very soon, you're more than likely going to have, I'm just looking at the design of this, your own sphere's VPN even. So you don't have to trust someone else's third-party VPN to keep your information supposedly private in your surfing history. When you have your own server and your own sphere of influence, you have your own VPN, you have your own everything, you're now safe. So again, please share the word, spread it wide. That's all I got to say. Because I've done my part in getting the software to the position where other developers can now develop it and can tool with it, that it's no longer dependent only on me. I've gotten things to the point where things are functional and you can actually build your own video archives, build your own media, your own cloud archives, build your own mailing lists. There's other things that dsphere does on the top of my head. I'm just shooting from my hip. There's other things it does. I don't remember right now on the top of my head. It'll come back to me. But it's the time now where what needs to happen is you need to help me, please, by spreading the word with me and sharing, please, what is here and what is to come, okay? So can you please get the word out there? Can you please share this video far and wide? dsphere.cc. The website is very, very basic right now because Thatchers have the worst roofs. I did not spend time on my own website because I'm spending time on the infrastructure, okay? And then dsphere is it's an operating system of the new internet. So it's very bare bones, as with any operating system is, like DOS 3.1, if you're a geek out there, or Windows 95, not quite as bad as 95, 98 SE, whatever. So it doesn't have all the bells and whistles of all these platforms, but it has the bones to build from. And then with the right development team, we will then put all these bells and whistles in and even have our own decentralized AI. So once you decentralize things, the AI needs big data. I was writing big data years ago with the record label, and I was writing a solution that, let's not get into it. And it needs big data. Can you imagine starving AI from big data because you've successfully decentralized everything? And you actually have to give permission for AI to scour your data Yes, you can still scrape stuff. You can still, AI can still pull down videos and so on and so forth. But from a big central repository that the cloud gives, that then you can easily scrape whatever you need, all your private information. Let's change this now, okay? Let's make this a permission-based technical world. Let's make this a freedom-based technology world. And let's reach out to me or spread this video far and wide so that we can then, I'll put up a series of videos after this that showcase a little bit of what dsphere is, how it works, at least at this present point in time. And as with any massive enterprise architecture like this, it's constantly improving, constantly growing. But I need your help, because even me posting this video is gonna get 20 views. Like, that's it. So I really need your help to get the word out, because I've been so successfully deplatformed on all the major platforms that we just simply need to go viral on this thing, old school. You guys need to help me by sharing this video, please, okay? I'm Damian Spaulding. You can find me all over the place. I'm easy to find. And at the same time, dsphere.cc is the website. Spaulding School of the Arts and Spaulding School of Music and Spaulding School of Design, Spaulding School of all these things are my multi-award winning schools. So you can check that out. spauldingcanada.ca gives you the $50 billion plan. If you take a look at the big picture, spauldingcanada.ca/the big picture, you will then see the big plan for being an alternate Hollywood kind of experience. That's a whole story in itself. And the point of dsphere is as well to replace Netflix and all those guys in the future with our own decentralized form of distribution of media, right? But instead of Netflix and other power players, Hulu, whatever, being the only players in the pond because they're the only ones that can afford the fiber optic links, the only ones that have the software, we're democratizing that. So record labels have been democratized over the last number of years, or studios, because you can now buy a recording studio for $10,000. It would have costed $1 million back in the day. Videos are now getting democratized. That whole industry, you can now use AI to pretty much build a film. So with the democratization of all things, you're now being empowered. And yes, underpinning Spaulding Canada is dsphere, so that it, as it grows to its Titan status, it'll also share its fame and its success with you, because the economy has shifted. The world has shifted. It used to be the kind of case where you needed to be able to step on someone else's level of greatness. And that is no longer the case. Those that are succeeding right now the most are those that are giving the most. I thank you for being on this journey with me. Again, check out my websites. I don't know, I'll put them somewhere. You can take a peek at them. But most importantly, please share this video. I'm sharing this beautiful scenery because it's just worth sharing in itself. But share this video with as many people as you possibly can, because I need your help getting the word out. I need your help developing the software design teams to bring this from a one-man show to a 10-man, 100-man, and 3,000-woman, whatever it is, person show to make things happen. I'm showing my age. Yes, I'm that old in mankind. Anyway, love you guys. Thank you so much. And I will now get back to work, even though I'd love to take in this beautiful morning. I got to get writing the next stages of dsphere, okay? On top of the other photography and videography and Spaulding Canada work. So dsphere.cc, canada.ca, truth and play, tipsmedia.tv, what other domain names? togetherasone.cc. I don't know. There's lots of work going on all around, okay? And I'm Damian Spaulding. Thank you for caring, and thank you for spreading the word. Thank you.